But it's looking good right now. I'm gonna bring Jimmy back in. Welcome back to the Chop Shop, Jimmy. Let's go. I mean, everything look good. The vitals look good. How you doing? What's going on today? The people
Oh
back in.
man, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, we got a lot to talk about, of course, but first we're gonna shuffle the dominoes on this baby Friday today on the Chop Shop, and we're gonna, as promised, we have a college coach, a college head coach is joining us shortly, and we're gonna talk about something that's special that's going on not in Houston, and not just in Houston, but with his program that he's at. He's a Division I head coach. And then also we might get into a couple other topics real quick before we got to go. Remember, this team plays today. So this is
Oh,
very rare. And the head coach is joining us on a day, on game day,
yeah,
a couple of hours before tip off. This
right.
might be the first time this ever happened.
Yeah, first time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now that I think about it. So hey, 2022, let's start this thing off right, like DJ Jimmy say back in the days. And of course, once again, what's going on today is the Southland Conference is doing what they call a men's basketball tip-off, women and men. They're playing in Houston. And that event, I'm sticking a little bit. That event is taking place at the Merrill Center out in Katy. Once again, the Southland Conference basketball tip off. Remember, Southland Conference has been depleted because I think four of their teams left for another conference, and that was Lamar, Sam Houston State, SFA, and I want to say Abilene Christian all left the Southland, and now only 8 teams remain. Those 8 teams, Southeastern Louisiana, eight, uh, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Northwestern State, Nicholls State, and University of Incarnate Word. So basically, all 8.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with Jimmy's thing. It keeps going. He keep pausing off. But coach, we gonna bring you in, coach, and we'll let Jimmy come back in. I'm finna bring you in because he was finna go, and maybe you can. Yeah, your internet better than Jimmy's. So coach, what's going on? Coach, they had me cursing on the air, coach. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hatter, Hatter, that's not the way to start off 22, man. You can't be cussing, dropping curse
I
words.
know it, coach. Coach, you know what, though? Let me tell you something. Hey, like somebody told me the other day, charge it to my head, not my heart. Okay? It wasn't my heart. It was my head. That was my heart. But what's going on, man? Talk to me. Tell me about this unique thing that y'all have going on right now.
Yeah, it's the entire conference is coming together in Houston, right? In Katy.
Okay.
And we're going to play here again. We're going to play here again in March. And
Mhm.
when you play here in March, it's to go to the NCAA tournament.
Right.
So the conference came up with this format where we're all going to play each other over a 3-day period.
Okay.
And during that 3-day period, you're going to crown a champion.
Okay.
But for me, selfishly, I'm brand new to the conference. I haven't coached in this conference since 2000.
Okay.
Back when I coached at SFA in 2000.
Oh, that's right.
So I get a chance. Yeah. I get a chance to see all the teams, like see where we stack up. I mean, we was pick 6, right?
Okay.
We was pick 6. Nicholls State was pick 1. New Orleans was pick 2. We were pick 6, and then right now we're sitting at 11-3. So people didn't understand, who we were and what we were about and what we were bringing in. So, I'm sure that they're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. They want to see what Corpus got, but I want to see what they have as well.
This is, coach. I'm sitting here saying, I know y'all. A lot of people were down because of the COVID situation, and y'all hadn't played. Some guys ain't played a lot of games. So is this a way to just get y'all get some more games under y'all belt? I mean, who made this? The commissioner made this decision. Why did they make this decision?
Yeah, well, the commissioner and the presidents and the athletic directors all made this decision last year when the conference changed. As Jimmy alluded to earlier, you have some people left the conference and went to the WAC,
Right.
right? So you've got a new conference that you're trying to rebrand and show off to everyone. So why not bring them to Houston, which obviously is one of the best basketball cities in the country? Why don't you bring them to Houston and show the people of Houston what you got? So you give them a little bit of taste right now, but then you're going to get that taste wet so they come back in March.
Oh, I got you. I got it now. Okay. Y'all, you know what? You're rebranding. Now I see you're rebranding the conference. That's what y'all trying to do a little bit, right?
A little bit. Yeah. It's still the same league. I mean, the Southland Conference has been around forever. I mean, and it's been historically, it's been a good league, but you've got some new faces, right? Or you've lost some people, I should say. You don't have new faces. So, you get a chance to bring it to a great city like this and show the people of Houston, hey, man, the basketball is still really, really good.
Is fans able to come in, Coach? Is this
absolutely? It's wide open. Wide open. Game started this morning at 11, so we got 11. We got 1:30. We play at 5, and then Nicholls State and Incarnate Word play at 7:30, and then we run it back Friday and we run it back on Saturday. Same times every day.
So will it be a winner claim of this? Will it be a winner?
Of course, yeah, man. Come on, Hatter. You don't play basketball to determine the winner.
Coach, it could be a little classic now. Y'all got these showcase.
Did I say a tournament or a classic? There's a big difference, man. You've been around a long time.
Coach, I know somebody on this feed thinking about that right now. Coach, so hold up. So this reason I said this, Coach. So the winner in this tournament, like you say, they got a little bragging rights for the rest of the season. To me,
man, you're gonna have a target on your back when you head into that league play, right?
Okay.
Everybody always wants to beat the big dog, right? That's just the way it is. So now you're going to have a target on your back. So as I said, we were picked 6th in this league. And right now we've got one of the better non-conference records in our conference. So let's just say we win the thing, people are going to know we shouldn't finish 6th. Like we need to be in the top 1, 2, 3 and give ourselves a chance to go to the NCAAs.
Gotcha. Jimmy, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. What's going on, Coach? That's it. In the house. What's going on, baby?
Yeah, what's up? Dick's got his shine on today and everything. It makes me feel bad. I need to shave.
That's all right, man.
I'm gonna go get
you got the
shave and a haircut in a minute.
Look, now I noticed that I want to give a congratulations to you, or early congratulations. Texas A&M Corpus Christi is off to their best start in school history. Am I not mistaken?
No, yeah, you're correct.
Tell us what's your record and who are some of your best wins and tell us about how did you get to this point?
Well, I mean, it's an interesting deal because we've got the highest number of transfers in the United States. And people think transfers that they think transfer portal. We only have 2 guys that were in the transfer portal. We recruited junior college players last spring very heavily and ended up, revamping the roster. So, we've got 7 guys on our team that are from the state of Texas, either played high school in Texas or played junior college in Texas. And then we've got 3 on our team that are all high school players from Texas, from Houston, sorry. So we've got a Texas heavy roster. And, we just basically, because of when I took the job, Coach Wilson's retirement, some of those guys had already decided to leave. There was 5 guys that were graduated. We didn't have much returning, so we had to go get a new team. And these guys came in the summer and busted their tails. And, we start off the season with my alma mater, which is Texas Lutheran. And then right after that, we go to Texas A&M. And we play Texas A&M pretty well. And then we go over to UT San Antonio and play in their tournament and win their tournament. So, the guys just came in and didn't have preconceived agendas, put their egos aside. And we've just been able to win games because we've got a team that, we've got probably 8, 9, 10 different starters, or could have 8, 9, 10 different starters. So what does that mean? That means we got good players.
How many from Houston, Coach? I haven't looked at your roster.
3 from Houston, Hatter. I just said that. See, come on, man, you're killing me today.
Coach, you don't understand. We can't hear everything you're saying. Coach, somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah, but I just want to know who are those players? Did you name the players? Since you want to go there, did you name who the players were? Guess what? Then I would have known what the hell you was talking about. So name the players now. Name the players since you want to go there. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to keep that same. That same energy when Penny come on here.
No, I'm just, but he ain't Penny. But keep going, Coach.
I'm gonna name the players, and you got to name the high school.
Okay. Guess what, Coach? It's gonna be a 99.9% that I probably don't know the damn high school. So I'm just gonna let you know that right now. I'm gonna keep it real.
I can get the high school.
It's gonna be a 99.9% that chance that I don't know. But come on, let's try it. Come on.
I got
Miles Smith.
Miles Smith.
Miles Smith.
Hold up, watch this. What high school, Jimmy?
It's Klein High School.
I don't know him, Coach. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yep. Miles played at Klein, like Jimmy said.
Okay.
He called it.
Yeah.
Played
Greg
for Glen Arnold. You got it.
Solid goal.
Yep.
What's the next guy?
Yep. Donovan Ray. I'm gonna get you on this one.
No, you got me, Coach. You had me with Miles.
No.
So, Coach, you had me with Miles.
No. Donovan Ray was a kid that went understand. He wasn't highly touted in high school. He's one of those guys that had to go the JUCO route, and he flourished in JUCO with like a lot of guys do. He got it. How them young people they love saying they getting out the mud, but nobody really want to stick their hand in the mud. Donovan Ray did. He went out there in Fort. That's a tested district from Dulles High School a couple of years ago.
Okay, what's the third guy?
2 Stephen Faramade.
Fort Bend ISD again. I remember the big fella. He played at Bush High School out of just a couple of years ago. Yeah,
Coach, Coach, think about it, Coach. I told you 99.9.9.9% that I wasn't going to know neither one of them. But guess what? That's your job, Coach. That ain't my job. You found some diamonds that everybody else didn't think they were diamonds, and they are vital parts of your team. So salute to you and that program. And Coach, let me tell you something. I love y'all campus down there in Corpus Christi. If y'all ain't been down there and go take a visit, hey, if you don't want your kid to go down there, don't let him take no visit. Because once he take a visit and he see that water and what us doing, man, unbelievable campus, Coach, man, and you're winning. I wish I can. I'm gonna try to get out there tonight, but in the next 3 days, what I would like to do is invite all of Houston to go and see the Southland Conference tournament, this midseason tournament, because a lot of these guys, Coach, like Jimmy he was talking about yesterday. He said, like last year we got 33 young men in Division I college. Jimmy, I think it's Division I. Freshmen in Division I colleges this year. But 8 or 9 of them, 7 or 8 of them are playing more than 10 minutes a game. And they always think they can go, these freshmen think they can go in here, Coach, on your team and think they're going to come in there and just take over the world. Coach, I would like for you to talk about that a little bit, if you can.
Yeah, for sure. Here's what I would say, Robert. I would say for every parent, if your child has an opportunity to be a college basketball player, whether you think they're going to be high major or they're going to be Division III, you should bring your kid out and watch the talent, because this is mid-major basketball. So if your child is not better than what you see on that floor, well, how can you expect them to go play at Purdue or Duke or, you know what I'm saying? We all got levels.
Right.
Right. I thought coming out of high school I was a Division I player. I was not a Division I player. I went to junior college. I ended up at Texas Lutheran and played when they were in AI. I got a scholarship, but I wasn't a Division I player. And there's levels to it. There's the low major, the mid major, and the high major level. And the higher you go, the harder it is.
Coach, I like that. Coach, you said that now as a head coach, because you know it's what 353 of y'all on the whole planet, a Division I head coach, and you one of those, right? Now, but you said, well, when you was a youngster, did you think you was D1 when you was a youngster? When you was coming out of high school, did you think you were D1? Oh, you thought you were. Okay. See, but that's, Coach, that's what we're dealing with now. Guys think they are. When did you come to the realization that, man, it's going to be a little bit harder than I thought it was?
When I only had one or two people that were offering me a partial scholarship after I finished my senior year.
Bingo.
Right? But I was hard-headed. I wasn't trying to hear that. I was like, nah, y'all are all wrong. I'm going to go to junior college and I'm going to show everybody. Well, I went to junior college and there was 10 guys on that team that were better than me too.
What?
Yeah, I mean, we were loaded. And so I was fortunate enough that a guy by the name of Deion Phelps, he kept in touch with me. He was the assistant at Texas Lutheran. Mm-hmm. And they had a scholarship open at Christmas, and I was able to transfer, and that was that. Wow.
Coach, I like the people to hear this, Coach. When Chris Walker come on here, Jimmy come on here, and Doug Jones, they tell them, man, there's levels to this stuff. These kids that they coach, they don't get it until they get. See, you had a rude awakening, and you said, "Wow, I didn't have a full scholarship at the end of my senior." So what a senior should do, Coach? Okay, take me through that. So it's gonna be some seniors this year, Coach, that don't get a scholarship. What do they do? What should they do, Coach?
They should have a honest conversation with their high school coach, their AAU coach, and figure out where they fit. Like, what level do you fit? Okay, well, if the AAU coach tells you you're a Division III player and the high school coach tells you you're a high major player, well, we got some misconception here somewhere, right? And that happens. But at the end of the day, if people aren't recruiting you at the level that you want, you've either been overlooked or the level you're being recruited at is where you need to settle in at. For me, my parents told me, you either get a scholarship or you get a job, but you're going to college, right? And so I had no choice. I was able to get a partial academic scholarship and a partial athletic scholarship. It got my school paid for.
Hold up. Did y'all hear what he said? Coach, they might have missed that, Coach. Coach, you got in them books and got your partial academic scholarship too. See, some of these guys say, man, school ain't for me. Well, that's what I'm saying. Some guys think like that, Coach. No. We can laugh at it. Go. You can comment on it.
It makes no sense. Yeah. That makes no sense. It's not logical to think that way. And like, I was not a rocket scientist. I did not score 1,200 on my SAT, 1,300. That wasn't me.
What?
Right? I was 900, 1,000, but I made good grades because I worked at my grades, and my parents told me I had to maintain A's and B's or I didn't have my car or I couldn't go out. And then I get to college and you got to maintain a 3.0, which is A's and B's. Well, what did I graduate with? A 3.06.
Coach,
right? So I'm no different than the rest of these guys.
I see, Coach, but you said something.
You do what you got to do.
You said something key, Coach. You said your parents said. Your parents, and you listen to your parents. Coach, I know some guys who wasn't eligible to go to college, but their parents bought them a car. They still can go to every concert. They still got every sneaker on. But your parents said, look here, player, you're going to have to go to school. You're going to have to go to school. In other words, you ain't going to live in here without going to school. But I mean, it's just a unique, I'm serious. So it's what's unique, and I want these parents to really understand, the parents do have the power. But Coach, I see a lot of these parents trying to be these kids' friends these days, Coach. Because I guess these kids have been through so much stuff. They've been through the pandemic. They've been through they've been through so much. So the parents try to be their friends, Coach. So it's hard to be a parent. Coach, it's hard to be a parent and a friend at the same time. It's just hard. Jimmy, you can come in anytime you want to. You
Sure.
can, Coach.
I mean, yeah, no, and I don't judge people. Like we all live in a different situation. But
right.
My daughter is a college freshman. She's on scholarship playing soccer at SIU Edwardsville, and she played on the top select soccer team, her high title. And she got to SIU Edwardsville, and they had 8 or 9 girls that came back for their COVID year. Well, so she didn't play much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first time she probably hadn't had success in her life. And so that's hard, right? But you have to be the parent and supporter, but at the same time, you also know what's best for your child when they're 30, 40, 50 years old. And that's the way I try to parent it. I'm not telling you that's the right or the wrong way.
Right.
I'm just telling you that's the way that my parents did it, and that's the way I do it.
Absolutely. Jimbo, what you got? Jimmy, can you hear us?
And plus, you mentioned about you saying that can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We're skipping a little bit.
That's all right. You skip it. We ain't skipping.
out.
You skip it. But just talk. We can hear you. Yeah.
And
we got
the
you.
SAT and ACT. Next month, the NCAA task force is set to make a decision, a possible monumental decision that could eliminate NCAA eligibility requirements for Division I and Division II student athletes with the ACT, SAT. What's your thoughts on that, and do you feel it's going to pass?
I understand what the NCAA is thinking because they want to get as many opportunities or make as many opportunities available for young people to get to college as possible. So I get you there. I also think, and maybe I'm old school in this thinking, that in life you got to pass certain hurdles, right? And passing those hurdles prepare you for later on in life. And there's so many opportunities for young people to get tutoring and help with regards to the ACT. I believe that, most of these young people these days can achieve the scores they need to. But I do understand the NCAA. The NCAA is basically making the student athlete have any and every opportunity to get into school, to be successful, to do what they want, to make money. They're eliminating a lot of the excuses, to be quite honest with you. I would tell you that I do think that it will, if the SAT doesn't go away in this cycle, I think it'll go away here fairly soon.
I like that, Coach. You said eliminating this.
And
I got a question for you, Coach, on the Facebook feed. Alex Sestero said, question for Coach. How much are you relying on ranking services versus scouting kids directly at tournaments versus high school games versus AAU to find high schoolers? How does you and your staff use all of this information? All this information, how y'all compile it and use it and determine who the guy you gonna recruit?
Yep. It's a really good question. And I'm not going to dodge your question What I'm telling you is honest.
Uh-huh.
But I use those recruiting services, or we use those recruiting services as identifying names, right? And then we go evaluate those people, whether you're number 1 or you're number 51.
Mm-hmm.
We go evaluate those people individually at AU games and at high school games. Highlight tapes are great, but I want to go to the game and see how your son or daughter reacts when coach yanks them out the game and rips their tail, or the referee gives them a bad call, how they react, how they treat their teammates. Do they go hard in warm-ups? Are they looking at mom and dad in the stands? Right? Like, evaluate all of that. And the recruiting services provide names. College coaches need to make decisions. Just because you're ranked number 1 in the city of Houston or Dallas or New York doesn't mean that you're a fit at my university and a fit for our program, because each program values different things. And, it's great to get ranked, use that to your advantage to get your name out there, but you still got to go produce every single night.
I like that, Coach. I like that, Coach. You know what, Coach? I was thinking about that. You said you watch people, because I keep telling these parents that. I'm glad you came on and said it. They watching everything. Coach, I noticed something about a kid the other night, first time I ever seen him, Coach. At halftime, he's supposed to be one of the top kids around, and I haven't seen him. So I went and put my eyes on him, and I fell in love with him. And guess the first thing I fell in love with, Coach? I got there at halftime. He was coming back out. You know how the guys go to the ball rack and just grab one ball at halftime and start shooting it? This guy, the best guy on the team, went and grabbed a handful of balls and was serving his teammates. Here, man, ball for you, ball for you, ball for you, ball for you. Coach, if I knew nothing else about this, because he could have just went over there that ball rack. It might seem small to other people, but he could have went over there that ball rack and just got a ball and started shooting himself. He started giving them out to his players. And I said, man, and then I watched him, now he one of my favorite players. Because then, Coach, he went out there and was the best player on the floor. You follow me? But I saw that, Coach, and I'll never forget it. And I just want people to know, y'all look for more things than whether he can play on the floor. Y'all look, but Coach, but I go to college and look at some guys at college that are buttholes in college, right? And I be saying, did that coach see that? Did that coach see that? Let me get Jimmy on. Did that coach see that? Let me see, make sure I got it. I think that's it. Yeah. Did that coach see that in high school? You follow me, Coach? Did that coach see that in high school? Because you just said you watch certain things, and those guys, they might not fit your team, but guess what? They fit in some people's team up here, because I see some of them guys on college teams too that's still acting a fool. What do you say to that, Coach?
Yeah, and I'm going to say it to you this way. University of Houston, and I don't know the kid's name, that went viral the other day where there was trash on the floor and they was walking off the floor, and that kid stopped and picked it all up. You win with those guys. Yeah, Jamal can come play for me anywhere. I don't even know him. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to win with those guys more times than not. And so when we get off the plane and we got to go to baggage carousel and we got to grab our bags, it means something when the top players grabbing bags just as easy as the walk-on. When you land on, and when you're at the high major level and you land at Michigan State in East Lansing on a Tuesday night and it's minus 10 degrees outside, and you got to get them bags off that plane, man, it means something when everybody does it. Not, like the best player goes and sits in that bus and lets the rest of the people do it. That means something. That's when you know you got a good team. But you got to start with the people that are willing to put their egos aside and do that. And not everybody's willing to do that. And that's cool. That's cool. That don't make you a bad person, but
yeah.
that's not what I'm trying to build my program around.
Okay. I like that. Jimmy, what you got, baby?
Yeah, and of course, you guys tune in. We have head coach Steve Lutz, Texas A&M Corpus Christi men's basketball. You guys, they're playing today, 5 p.m. at the Merrill Center. We'll be going head to head with Northwestern State out of Natchitoches, Louisiana. And this Corpus Christi is 11-3 on the season. And of course, as Coach mentioned earlier, off to their best start in the history of the school. And this is his first year at the Rams. And one of the things that I like, you mentioned earlier, Coach, that when you got into the job, when you got the job, you had a decision to make. You could have went to the traditional or transfer portal. You could have went the traditional way that a lot of high school coaches want you to come and get their seniors who are still on the board. But you made a conscious effort to say, you know what? We're going to go and get some guys that are 21 years old plus. We're going the JUCO route, and that way we'll have a chance. Did you think that the JUCO route would yield this type of early success for you and your program? And since it ain't broke, do you plan to fix it?
That's a good question. I couldn't tell you that I knew we would be 11-3 at this point. When we assembled everybody in June, in July, when everybody's on campus.
You good? Oh, coaching came out now. He'll come right back. See, Coach, very. I got you. Coach, you can't. I got you back in there, Coach. Get back to work, Coach.
Yeah, I didn't know that we would be 11-3, and the only games we would have lost were against the Power Fives, where they paid us, $85,000 to $95,000. Like, I didn't know that, but I did feel like that we had assembled enough talent to get where we wanted to go. Moving forward, I'm going to continue to recruit the best people that fit our program, whether they're in junior college or they're in high school. They're my classes, because you're building a program for the long term. But with the junior college class from last year and a few from this year, they're going to have 3 years of eligibility at our institution. So that really appeals to me. I would rather have guys there as long as I can, especially if they're good players. I mean, it just makes common sense.
Jimmy?
And so now the portal comes into play. Of course, and a lot of people don't know, of course, you came over at Creighton a couple of years ago, and after the Creighton, you left and you went to Purdue, and so you've been at the Power Five, so to speak, and now you get your head opportunity at Corpus Christi. This conference now, is the Southland Conference? Are they going to some more teams? What's in the future for the Southland?
Good question.
Yeah. I don't make those decisions, but my athletic director, and I spoke with the commissioner last night at shoot around, they're absolutely going to add a few teams. Now, we've added Texas A&M Commerce, who will be a Division I member here in the next couple of years. And then I would assume that this spring, as things continue to shift, I would assume that we'll have some more people in our conference. It's hard for me to speculate who, but I absolutely think as things continue to shift, we're going to add people. The good thing about our league, though, right now is that we have enough. We're always going to have an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. But you want to have, a 10 or 12 team conference. So selfishly, at the end of the day, if we stay at 8, well, that means I got to go beat 7 people to go to the NCAA tournament. Well, it's a lot easier to beat 7 than 11, guys.
Right. I like that.
Now, on your roster, once again, Texas A&M Corpus Christi will be playing at 5 p.m. today in the first round of the Southland Conference men's basketball tip-off. The girls portion of this tournament, pre-conference tournament, has been canceled. I was told. Am I correct, Coach?
Yeah, COVID got
And
them.
why is that? Wow.
Well, you
When did
gotta
they find out?
They found out on Sunday night, I believe. They were supposed to start Monday, go to Wednesday. You have to have 7 players available to play, and you have to have 1 coach available to coach. That's the league minimum, and that's very. It's pretty much across the board in all of Division I basketball that's your minimum. Some are 8, whatever. But they didn't have enough teams to participate, and we knew, I think, basketball coaches and I would have to assume health officials knew across the nation that once we returned from Christmas that we were going to have issues, right? And that's proven to be the case. The NCAA just came out with guidelines this morning explaining what they consider to be a fully vaccinated and boosted individual. And if you are not that, then you will be subject to testing, and then you'll also be subject to contact tracing. So I woke up Wednesday morning with a text from our trainer because we had taken a PCR test on Monday or Tuesday, and he texts me. I wake up Wednesday morning and he tells me 1 person's positive and 4 or 5, no, 3 of them have inconclusive results. But that 1 person who was positive, he took out his entire apartment, which is 3 other players. So there's 4 out, one of them being Miles Smith, who's a 1,000-point scorer, just because of contact tracing. So then we got to test some more, and I'm not going to get into all that. No. But long story short, like Miles won't play today because he's contact traced, but he can play tomorrow because his 5th day's up, right?
Oh, okay.
So he's coming in tonight. Yeah, he's coming in tonight. He'll play tomorrow. But it's just really, really hard. And it's not me to pass judgment on your vaccinated, non-vaccinated.
Right.
It's not for me to pass judgment. But for you to be a Division I college athlete, it's really hard for you to not have an interruption in your season if you're not fully vaccinated and boosted moving forward.
Coach, you know what I'm sitting there thinking about you right now? Coach, it's your first year, man, and you got to come and do this. It's your first year as a head coach. You the CEO, and you are all of these problems. But guess what? That's why you get paid the big bucks, because you're problem solver. But to you, Coach, I'm sitting up and saying, man, it's my first year, and all of this stuff happening on my watch. Coach, how overwhelming was it for you to deal with all the coach? You had to learn stuff about the CDC. Coach, you had to do crash course about immunization. What's your boy Alex Rodriguez said? Immunize. You had to deal with the kids coming. Hey, Coach, I'm immunized. I mean, Coach, tell me how your year been going, man. Because don't nobody ask you about you. How you doing, man? We talking about them players. How you doing? How you getting?
And I'm good. I'm good. It's a wild ride, though. Like nobody prepares you for this. Anybody who says they are prepared for this is lying out their darn teeth. But like, I'm being honest. Think about me. I'm 49 years old. I'm a grown man. What about these guys that are 18, 19, 20 years old, and how do they handle it? See, I worry more about them.
Okay.
Like when we get on that bus on Wednesday to drive on over here, when we go to watch film at 10:15 in the morning, I had expected to have 15 players. Well, you knew how many were there? 5.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to deal with that.
So then, So then at 10:30, I got about 6. Then I got 7, and now I'm at 8. And so we start doing some shooting and this and that. I thought we were rolling with 8. Like, I thought we're coming to Katy with 8 players and we're going to see what we got to do. And then you start going through some more contact tracing and who's been around whom and all that. And we settled in on 11. That's where we're at. Now we got to go.
Oh, okay. Somebody just asked you a question, Coach. He said, can you ask Coach Chuck McGowan? He's a summer basketball coach, I think on the girls' side. He said, can you ask Coach, does he have an offensive system already established, or do you base your offensive concepts on your incoming personnel?
Absolutely have offensive concepts that I want to use each and every year. Like we play really fast in transition. We try to score in the first 12 seconds. And then defensively, I have a system. With that being said, if you don't have the talent, you can't play that way. So you have to adjust to that. And I always tell people, and I use Purdue as an example with Carson Edwards. My first year there, we threw the ball into the post more than anybody in the country. My second year there, Carson Edwards became Carson Edwards. We shot the most three-pointers in the country. You feel me? So you got to play to your best players, right?
That's interesting. Coach, I see you got people that know you on this feed, Coach. Thaddeus Moody said, I met you while you were at Purdue recruiting, I think it's Noel. No Jail.
No Jail, yeah.
No Jail and a few others. What did you learn from your previous bosses, Doug McDermott and Mike Painter? Dude, them two bad dudes in this coaching profession. What did you learn from them two guys?
Probably the most important thing I learned for them is treat people the right way. Because they're both very even-keeled. They're honest. Not a lot of highs and lows, and just treat the managers as good as you treat your top assistant. Treat your walk-ons as good as you treat Carson Edwards, and hold them all accountable the same way every single day. Like don't let Carson show up late with earrings to practice, and you're not going to let the walk-on do it. You know what I mean? They all got to do the same stuff.
That don't happen in the NBA though, Coach. That don't happen in the NFL, Coach. Hey, Coach,
man,
that don't happen in real life, Coach.
I'm
telling you, Coach, I know a guy. If the plane ain't gonna take off until he get to the airport. All of y'all sitting on the plane like this here, Coach. Hey, all y'all sitting on the plane like this here, and until he get there, it ain't going. But I understand the coaching concepts in college. But boy, in life, that don't always work.
No, Alan, that's what he learned, what Coach Lutz learned. I know. That ain't all coaching concepts.
So Coach, what you telling me? Some coaches don't think that way? No, I don't throw them under the bus like that. I'm saying it. So all coaches don't think that way.
I'm going to leave you with this because I got film here in 7 minutes with the team. I'm going to leave you with this. I can remember working for someone, and we would call him. He would stay in his hotel room, and we would call him and tell him all the guys was on the bus before he came down. All right, now this was a long time ago.
Okay. We'll worry about that. Okay. I like that.
And different strokes for different folks, and if you win, hey, whatever works for you.
Boy. Coach, thank you, man.
Coach, lastly, I want to slide one in regard. You mentioned walk-ons a while ago. How many walk-ons do you carry, and what is the role of a walk-on? And that way, if people out there watching and they're considering, how does that? Because every other coach had different philosophies in how they incorporate or inherit or assign the walk-on labels. What's your criteria within your program?
I'm gonna start it the same way as anybody else. I try to keep a guard, a wing, and a post, but those guys all got to be able to function in practice just like the other players. They've got to play hard. They've got to be willing to put their egos aside and do what's best for the team. But I tell them all as they walk in the door or they explore it, you're probably never going to play. You're going to play when we are up 20 or when we're down 20. And if you can't handle that, then this is not for you. But you've still got to go to all 100 or 125 practices and bust your tail every single day, just like you're fighting for a starting spot, knowing that you may never, ever play. And it's really hard. It's really, really hard. People, I'm not even going to say today, it's just really hard for people to accept that.
That's good. Thank you.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. If on your resume after 4 years of college, you go to NCAA tournaments, think about that. That's big time. we were at Purdue and we had a group of guys that came through at 4 years, and they were the winningest group of 4-year seniors in school history. 2 of them were walk-ons. Think about that, man. The rest of your life, you're going to say in Purdue history, I'm one of the winningest players ever to come through this program. How many people could say that? So there's give and take on all.
Okay. And I'm a walk-on, so I was a part of it. So, hey,
man, you get the same ring I get, whether you score 50 points or 0 points. You get the same ring. You get the same perks. You get it all.
I'm with that.
Now Coach,
your butt chewed just the same too, though.
What's you say, Coach? What?
You can get your butt chewed the same way too. Now, don't kid yourself.
Coach, Corpus Christi is the home of the largest Whataburger in the world, right? And 2-story Whataburger, Hal. 2-story Whataburger.
Double decker, baby, double decker. The original. The original. Kind of like you in the city of Houston, the original.
Absolutely. Hey, tell me this, Coach. With name, image, likeness now permissible, has Whataburger or does any of your key players currently have NIL deals in place? And so what?
Yes, they do, but not with Whataburger. All right, I got to go. I got 2 minutes. We got
film in 2 minutes. Get him out of there, Jimmy. Come on, man.
Once again, guys.
Love you guys. All right.
Bye, Coach. The coach can't be late, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, you got to realize.
Neural Center out in Katy. They'll be taking on Northwestern State. You guys can get over there and check out the game. Also at 7:30 is going to be in the nightcap. You have a Nicholls State taking on Incarnate Word. And as Lutz just said a while ago, he used to actually coach at Incarnate Word. So this Southland territory is no stranger to him. And what I did left on the table, I didn't get into. Of course, I didn't realize I know he had a tight schedule today. Didn't realize he had filmed this soon. And one of the starters on his team, you guys may be very familiar with his father and his uncle, and that is what's the little fella name? Man's son, Jackson. Little Jackson played at San Antonio Wagner. You guys help me out with the name. It's going Jalen. That's it, Jalen. Jalen Jackson played for San Antonio Wagner, and the son of Boo Man from the Texas Hard Work Program, and Louis Nunez and all them. He's the starting point guard in that program. And so Jackson, I think he's a junior now. So it's like I said, and this is that dynamic, but I want you guys, one of the things, hopefully Coach Lutz, he provided some good nuggets for you guys to take away and apply and have a better understanding on this. Think about it. He's 11-3. That's the best start in the history of the school. Let that soak in. But he has a roster filled with not just Texas players. Understand, 7 of them from Texas, but junior college is primarily. That means they're not getting it done. Coaches are not expecting, are not even trying to come out here and with these babies out of high school. So that means if you're going to go and play Division I in that conference, and a lot of conference alike, you're not likely to play unless your son is either special in the eyes of somebody else, because you all know your babies are special. I'm talking about a special talent. Or opportunity presents itself as a la Ramon Walker, who we talked about at University of Houston. That wasn't the plan. But guess what? Ramon Walker is not the first and not the last. It wasn't the plan for the young fella Shed. You mentioned Jamal Shed a while ago. That wasn't the plan for him last year. Injuries came about, and it yielded the opportunity for young Jamal Shed to play last year. And he seized the opportunity. Now, guess what? Are most kids willing to take that chance, hoping to wait and just sit there like the fireman and wait on that bell to ring to slide down that pole and go and put out and be the Cape Crusader or be a crusader of of the program, most are not willing to do so. That's why the numbers in the portal are so very much surging year to year. So what's the solution? What are you going to do about it? How are you going to face that? How are you going to embrace that? And what happens is, how I look every time I go on Twitter, I go on social media, and I see another guy hollering about this guy's a pro, this guy here, everybody's sleeping on this guy. This stuff it's not simple, man. And you try to make these kids believe that it's just that simple by playing with their intellect, with their psyche like that. And that's when the mental health stuff comes into play, because kids, they get confused, they get disappointed, then the depression sets in, they're away from home. No, they already don't communicate verbally. They have to communicate electronically. How do we solve this? What do we do about it? That's the question with this. And I asked some of you guys, and what do you guys think? Are you seasoning the meat properly before it goes on the grill? Because otherwise, these kids are gonna get cooked time after time. How you told them about the numbers earlier, and I'll repeat it. Right now, there are 33 freshmen from the greater Houston area that are on Division I rosters nationwide. Now, that includes red shirts from a year ago. They're still freshmen. Out of those 33, there are only 9 of them who are playing, averaging 10 minutes or more. That means 24 out of the 33 are averaging 9 minutes or less. If you can get that one better.
And Jimmy,
those numbers are not.
That's really not truly, Jimmy. That happens in college sports when you go up another level. That happens. Our problem is the expectations. All the little Johnny and everybody think they finna go in and get 20 minutes in college basketball. And we be telling, some of these people be telling these people. I mean, I sent Jimmy something the other day. I wanted to just jump off the cliff. These summer basketball coaches, some of y'all, not all y'all, the reckless stuff that y'all saying about these kids, y'all setting them up for failure, man. Man, he this year he was ranked here, then he was ranked here, then now he go this year, now he gonna be a pro. Quit saying that. Let it happen. If he go, let it happen. Quit putting that bad energy out there, man. Cause if it don't happen, you gonna run up on a rock. He did. No, man. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. If you have an opportunity to play basketball in college, and I'm gonna keep telling parents this, and I saw something the other day, and I meant to call somebody about it, because he tweeted something. He said a lot of people didn't think thought this guy was gonna be an NAIA guy, but now this guy doing stuff here. But when you tweet stuff out there like that, Jimmy, what it does, you're saying NAIA ain't that good. You're talking down on it. We got to quit talking down on NAIA, because most of y'all ass ain't played in NAIA. Like me and you talking, Jimmy. And I done told everybody that this dude was good, right? And everybody else, you telling me, Robert, he's a NAIA dude. So guess what? So I tweet out, because the dude that did something good, and I tweet out, well, hey, Jimmy around here telling me that the dude was NAIA, but now the dude doing it here. Dude, let me tell y'all something. We need to stop that. Because you're downing the NAIA. You might not think you're trying to prove your point But how can we make the NAIA and these situations better and more attractive if people that on that app talking negative about it? That's all I'm saying, man. I can't tell you how to construct your tweets. But if you in this basketball